We are less than 3 weeks away from Pro Tour Los Angeles, which is going to be an awesome, awesome event. An entire extended weekend completely focused around the game of Flesh and Blood and us, the Fab community. And while yes, the primary focus, as the name implies, is around the competitive events, the reality is that Pro Tour LA, as an event, is for everyone at all levels. It's a weekend of enjoying the game, meeting friends and colleagues from across the globe, and enjoying the Flesh and Blood community. And yes, grinding those tickets. Grind those tickets, baby. So today, join me, someone who's going down exclusively for the side events and sharing time with my buddies, for a guide to Pro Tour LA. What's happening, how it works, what I'm playing in, and how to maximize your fun for the weekend. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my Flesh and Blood friends. Welcome back to Dice Commando, and go again, a fabulous cast, and thanks for tuning in here today. Maybe you're joining us for the first time. We're going through kind of the common man's preview of Pro Tour Los Angeles. Now, Pro Tour Los Angeles is a whole weekend of Flesh and Blood events, obviously centered around the Pro Tour itself, which you must qualify for. Folks flying in from around the globe, duking it out for the fame, the glory, the money, right? The money. But it's going to be a great time for the rest of us because around that event, there's a whole bunch of other stuff happening too. There's a calling, there's a battle hardened, and then there's a whole bunch of side events, which is what I personally am flying down for. I've done the big events before. I've done the callings, I've done battle hardens. And when I go to these, I find that what I enjoy most is just getting to hang out with my friends, having some time in between tournaments, and running the side events. So we're going to recap the event for the common man today. Now, I do want to point out this is 3 weeks away. It's a little close. It's kind of getting to that point where you kind of need to, we use the expression in the US, poop or get off the pot. Time to get those tickets purchased, figure out your lodging and all that. But there's still plenty of time to do that if you're interested, or maybe you live if you're living in the area, you're almost certainly going, right? But if you're anywhere close, it's not too late to grab a Southwest flight or whatever you need to do, okay? So you can see over here on the side, I kind of have a list of stuff I want to go down. But if you haven't been to one of these events before, it can be a little confusing in terms of, well, what do I buy? What do I do? And all that. So what I want to do first is kind of break down the general idea, okay? Now, you can go and you can look up schedules and stuff, and we'll go through the side event schedules. But by and large, what these events do is there's multiple things happening at the same time. On Saturday, for example, there's going to be the Pro Tour happening. There's going to be a calling happening. And then on Sunday, there might be still Pro Tour happening. There'll be calling day 2. There'll be a battle harden going on and all sorts of side events. They can be a little confusing. And then you walk in and there's a shiny prize wall. It can be a little overwhelming, right? So first off, what you want to do is you want to essentially choose how you want to approach the weekend, okay? If you want to play in the calling, or if you want to play in a battle harden or something like that, you are going to need to achieve the right, or you're going to need to walk in and purchase the right type of package. Okay, so there are 2 packages out of the gate when you go to their site. I will link their site below. The first is the Fabled main event package. So this is $175. Comes with the mat, the sleeves, the 3 shiny cards, but more importantly, not that this other stuff, not that the swag isn't important. It's actually a great deal once we start to do the math, which we'll do in a second. But you're going to get a Fable ticket, you're going to get a silver ticket, and then you get 2 bronze tickets. Okay, now that Fable ticket is going to be good for any event in the weekend. Now, obviously, right, you want to maximize your value. You're going to use that for a big event like the calling, one of the battle hardens, or one of the spicy energy potion events. Okay, now the value of those events, if you enter them separately, the calling is a $70 event, the battle harden is a $50 event, and each one of the energy potions is a $50 event. The silver events are $35, meaning a silver ticket is worth $35, and a bronze event is worth $20, or a bronze event costs you $20 to enter, so those bronze events are worth $20. So if you do the math on this, you're looking at roughly, between this and the other package, you're looking at the swag costing you roughly $40. So you may look at this and like, well, I don't want the swag. I don't care about the sleeves. I don't care about the mat. I don't care about the promos. I just want to go and play a couple side events. That's perfectly reasonable, but something you need to think about honestly to yourself is if you're playing multiple events over the course of the weekend, if you go look at something like the Go Again event package, the side event package, if you add up the cost of the $70 for the two, right? Again, remember we valued the silvers at 35, so that's 70, valued the bronzes at 40. Well, you add that up, and if you actually look at it, a mat, sleeves, and then those 3 promos for $40 is actually a steal, especially if you consider that you're going to try and flip them to someone else, right? A lot of these event mats go for at least $50, sometimes $100. So it's not even just about making the money, but it is about putting in context of, oh, well, I'm just going to buy side events. You might want to think about going with one of the packages because it's a pretty good deal, right? Again, you need to decide what's right for you with your money, what you want to do and what's available. I just, put it in context of a $40 mat, a pack of, what would they cost you? $15 US maybe in the store anyway. And then there's special ones on top of that, and then the promos. So I think, to be clear, I bought mine several days ago. This is what I bought right here as the Go Again event package. It just mathed out for me with what I plan to do on the weekend. But again, if you're showing up, you only want to run 2 events, maybe it doesn't pencil out for you. So completely fair. Right? And on top of that, I think we already kind of went through the tickets and what they're good for. Now, keep in mind, any ticket is good for a lesser event, right? So that Fable ticket is good for the $70 event, the $50 event. You could use it for less. You probably shouldn't. If you're going to get the Fable, that's probably what you're going to use for your energy potion event. Now, that is one of the bummers of the setup of this is the energy potion promo events themselves. Now, to keep in mind, you get the promo just by showing up and entering in it, which is good. The promos will be in high demand. Those are $50 events. That's a lot, right? That's a lot for most of us, okay? So you have to kind of keep that in mind when you're doing the math again and planning your weekend. That's a thing, right? $50 is a lot, but you get that nice shiny promo as well. But also remember, you can't use in the ones I've been to in the past, they will let you use, you could actually give them a silver and a bronze to enter, because that would be a 35 and a 20. They would actually let you do that. I don't know that they will down there. I would assume it would work relatively the same, but again, you're actually losing $5 on that. So again, you do the math and figure it out. Now, in terms of the event schedule itself, for the rest of us, actually for everybody, Pro Tour, for everybody, the weekend starts on Friday. The exception is there's a players reception on Thursday night to kind of kick everything off. James will be there with a, what they call a keynote, and it'll be great to hang out with everybody. You do have to purchase, if you're not in the Pro Tour, you have to purchase that as an additional thing. Plus a lot of people, like myself, I'm flying in late Thursday, so I won't be at that. So basically everything starts Friday morning. Now, I do want to put in perspective, when I went to Worlds, this is just personal advice. When I went to Worlds, I flew in midday Friday because I didn't want to take additional time off, which again is completely reasonable based on your life. But I really feel like I missed a lot, not in terms of running the site events, not being there on day one. Because realistically, with the way these schedules work of the side events, if you're planning on, you are maxed at 2 side events a day. And that is best case scenario if the things you want to, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. So if you're trying to get through, for example, the Go Again package, if you're trying to get 2 tickets, you'd better be on your game to be able to get through 4 tickets if you're trying to do it Saturday, Sunday only. And that's assuming you're not flying out, at some point on Sunday. So my advice is to be there either really early Friday or get in late Thursday night. Again, that's another hotel concern. Completely acknowledge that. But if you really think about trying to maximize your value, that is what I found by making a mistake in the past. So just some advice to you. But again, you have to do what's right for you. So if we're looking at the side events, we have the first energy portion ones are at 9 and 10. Now, the 9 a.m. one is a classic constructed event. The 10 a.m. one is a heavy hitter sealed event. So there's 2 things to consider here, right? The classic constructed one, keeping in mind that anyone who didn't make Pro Tour and is looking at calling the next day, which will be CC, they're probably looking to grind that one. The flip side is a lot of those grinders are going to be in the Pro Tour, so it's probably going to be very binary competitive, I would think, on that one. And also keep in mind, you're not going to be able to run both the 9 a.m. and the 10 a.m. You could sign up for both and give the money for both, but you're not going to actually be able to enjoy both events. So you're going to have to pick one of those for your promo event. And in terms of maximizing your personal value, playing the heavy hitter sealed, getting 6 packs for your $50, seems like a pretty good value to me in terms of trying to maximize in terms of trying to use your fabled ticket in this would be case, or just paying your $50 for your energy potion, okay? At 11 a.m., we then have a Blitz event for Energy Potion also. This is going to go a lot faster being Blitz, which is cool. But again, it's that same entry price. At 12 p.m., we then have our first non-super expensive, like our first very, I should say, accessible, friendly event, Commoner, and it's a bronze ticket. Okay, that's pretty good. It's also a WTR Alpha qualifier. Now you're going to see these throughout the schedule as we go through them. These are not based on performance. Anybody who enters gets entered into a raffle, and they will pick 8 people to do a WTR Alpha draft. You could just randomly get your name pulled out of a hat, and you could make it. So that's pretty cool. So make sure to look for those asterisks as well. Then at 1 p.m., we have a booster draft for UPF, which is it's bronze actually, so that's pretty good value in terms of the draft. That, however, is going to, you really need to consider the time this is going to take. So you're going to draft, and then you're going to play UPF, right? That's going to take a lot of time, and it starts at 1. So if you're trying to get 2 events into the day, that's going to be very hard. So you probably want to, again, I'm going to be playing the Commoner event. That's what I'm going to be playing. I hope to see a lot of you there, because that Commoner event should be done by about 3 at the latest, which would let you do a Blitz or something like that later in the day. Right, at 2 p.m., there's Shapeshifter Sealed, which is a silver. That's actually not horrible. 3 p.m., Blitz Bronze. I am hoping the Commoner will be done so I can double dip my bronzes. That's what I'm hoping for Friday, but we'll see how the day goes. And then at 4, we have a Super Armory CC. 5 p.m. is a Super Armory for Heavy Hitter Sealed. And then at 6, we have Super Armory for Blitz. Now, do keep in mind that both those Super Armories, that'll be really good pricing for that. Those are both bronzes, the 4 p.m. and the 6 p.m. The 5 p.m. is a sealed. Obviously, you're going to get packs and stuff, so it costs a little more, so it's reasonable for that to be a silver. Okay, so that's Friday. And then there's some special stuff on Friday, which we'll talk about in a minute. Moving into Saturday, if you are a CC player and you don't want to be super competitive, this is probably your best day. Okay, in terms of side events, I mean. So anyone who's not doing well in the Pro Tour will likely drop and then go enter themselves into the calling. And anyone who's there to game and jam on the competitive side will likely be in the calling. So if you skew your side event schedule early, you're going to find more people who are there to have fun. Just statistically, you're going to find more people there who are there to have fun than to grind, right? So Saturday morning is going to be very community friendly in terms of side events. That is generally the way this works, okay? So at 10 a.m., we have the calling obviously gets clicked off. There's a CC event that starts at 9. And like I said, that one's probably very, very player friendly, right? In terms of what you're going to see, it'll be a very different meta. So that's something to think about. At 10 a.m. is where one of my silver tickets is going. I will be there for the Commoner Gold Foil event. That should be very fun. Again, it starts the same time as the calling. Do keep in mind there's going to be a lot of noise in the background while you're trying to play as they do all that and stuff going around. But again, you're going to find a lot of people who are very into Commoner being there and having a lot of fun. 11 a.m., there's a sealed event. You know, I don't need to read the whole schedule to you. Some things I do want to point out is you look over the course of the day, right? You have an 11 a.m., a 12 p.m., a 1 p.m., a 2 p.m., a 3 p.m. Goes every hour. So you really need to make sure that you're planning accordingly. And then we have the Classic Constructed Energy Potion one at 5 p.m., right? So that's going to be another big draw one because that is actually the only Energy Potion event over the course of Saturday. Okay. So that's going to probably be a big one. Plus, it's late enough in the day that folks who aren't doing well in the calling will have dropped. So I do expect that one to not only be a big draw, but probably be a little more competitive. And then at 6 p.m. is the Team Blitz event. And it's very interesting to me that they're starting that at 6 p.m. I think that one will probably, because you're almost guaranteed to go to time, that's probably going to be a longer event. And then do notice your asterisks, right, on the 9 p.m., the 2 p.m., and the 3 p.m., right? Now, moving into Sunday, we have the Pro Tour Top 8. We have Calling Day 2. But by this point, anyone who's not in either Pro Tour Top 8 or the top cut of the Calling, they're probably looking to be... The thing is, the Battle Hardened at 9 a.m. is actually Living Legend. So will folks pop over into that? I don't know. I think you're going to have a completely different field of folks popping over into Living Legend. We'll have to see. And then if you look at the events over the course of the day, you do have the UPF Booster Draft at noon, which is an Energy Potion event. It's going to be interesting to see how many people show up for that one. And then at 3 p.m. on Sunday, which is getting pretty late for flying out and getting to the airport and all that type of stuff, have the heavy hitters sealed, and that's an energy potion as well. And remember, that's going to add extra time because you have to have deck construction, then play your rounds. All right, so I haven't gone through the schedule and run through the energy potion events and how that works. I wanted to talk real quick about Blitz and Commoner. Now, we're not going to do full, meta rundowns and stuff like that because I actually have other videos. In fact, I'll link a couple because why not? The Commoner format, I think, is going to be, 2 Commoner event or 2, straight Commoner events through the weekend. It's going to be very fun to see how that develops and the difference between the one on Friday, which is a little less competitive, and then the gold foil one where you'll probably have some more competitive people out. Very interesting to see the breakdown there. And then Blitz, I'm going to be very interested. This will be, I think, the first real trial we'll have of the new heroes in Blitz. And we'll see if anybody can dethrone Briar, who I believe to be the best deck in the format. Now, some extras on Friday night. I will be running a panel at 5 o'clock in the hall, right? I'm being joined by Travis from Fab Foundry. We're going to talk about Commoner and how we can use it to build our communities and strengthen our communities and stuff like that. So I'd love it if you're hanging out, come join us. And then immediately thereafter, in about 6 o'clock or so, immediately after, we're going to walk down, run down, trot down, whatever it may be, to a Dice Commando meetup event. So we're starting around 6:30. Let's just say that. Let's just say 6:30 to be safe. Down at First Draft Tap Room and Kitchen, so it's within walking distance of the event itself, and it's very casual. It's just a casual tap room. March Madness, which is a huge thing. Yes, sports ball, that's right. For those of you who are not aware, that's basketball. It's the college basketball tournament that happens every year. That's Pro Tour Los Angeles weekend is going to be the kickoff weekend for March Madness, so we're going to run from doing nerd games over to playing sports ball while watching sports ball, having some beer, hanging out, and hopefully having a good time all the way until early Friday evening because we've got games to play on Saturday morning. So anyway, that is kind of my recap of the event as well as, again, some stuff to look forward to for the weekend. I'm really excited about being there, really excited about meeting you all. Whenever I go to these events, I get to meet great people, make new friends, build other relationships. That's right, have a beer or two, and sling some cardboard. So really looking forward to it, hoping I can meet up with you down there. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be there, what you're planning on doing, what you're planning on playing. Thanks for joining, folks. If nothing else, see you in LA, and go Commando.